Okay, good morning to all of you. Today we will discuss about Thevenin's theorem. Again, it carries either 7 marks or 8 marks. Either 7 marks question or 8 marks question we are asking under this. State and prove. State and prove Thevenin's theorem. This is a question we are going to ask. State and prove. State and prove Thevenin's theorem. Either for about 7 marks that we are going to ask, or maybe for about 8 marks question we are asking. Okay, it is an important question. Okay, right? Understand about these ideas. Listen now. What is that statement? What is that statement? First, the statement. I will not write the statement, but I will explain the statement. What is that? Let us consider a network of generators and linear impedances. There are so many generators are there. Generator means it is EMFs. Generator, it is an EMF. Okay, or batteries. They are called by the name of generators. Impedance means just like resistances, opposition for the flow of current. So there is a network. There is a network of so many generators, so many number of generators and linear impedances. Linear impedances are present. It is a network. I will write that. This is the network. This is a network. This network containing so many number of generators and linear impedances it is containing. It is containing the generators as well as it is containing linear impedances. Okay. Now, this is also having, this one, this particular network which is containing a load impedance also. I will consider this point as A point, this point as B point here. Between A point and B point here, there is a load. There is a load is present here. That is ZL. Load impedance, ZL, load impedance is present. It is a load impedance is present. ZL means it is a load impedance. ZL, load, L for load impedance, that is ZL. This particular circuit can be written as, this particular circuit can be, this particular circuit can be replaced by a large number of generators are there, more than one impedances are there. All these generators are replaced by one single generator. All these impedances are replaced by one equivalent impedance. In that particular circuit, I will going to write that. This is ZTH. Called by the name, Thevenin is the name of a scientist. Thevenin's impedance. These impedances are there now. Instead of using a several number of impedances, a large number of impedances, if you are using more than one impedances here, I will remove all those impedances and I will write only one impedance, that is ZTH. If you are using so many number of EMFs, so many number of generators, so many number of EMFs, I will remove all the things and I will going to write only one EMF. And I will write only one EMF. This is ETH. Thevenin's EMF. This is Thevenin's impedance. Now this is A point. This is B point. A point, B point. Between A and B. This is A point, this is B point. A point, B point. Between A and B here, we are having so many number of generators, so many number of linear impedances. The number of generators are removed and we have put only one EMF called by the name the ETH, Thevenin's EMF. and several number of impedances, whatever it is present here, it has been removed and it has been put only one impedance called by the name the Thevenin's impedance. And this is as it is present here. This is as it is present. What is this? ZL. ZL means what? What do you mean by ZL? It is impedance, load impedance. This is the Thevenin's theorem. So what the Thevenin's theorem statement? So Thevenin's theorem statement, it says that if we are choosing any two terminals, of a linear network which is containing more than one impedance, more than one generator, replaced by an equivalent circuit, containing ZTH, Thevenin's impedance, and ETH, Thevenin's EMF. Instead of using several number of generators, I am writing only one. Instead of using several number of impedances, I am writing only one. Other things are present as it is. Load impedance as it is present. This is called by the name, this idea is called by the name Thevenin's theorem. This is Thevenin's theorem. Now I suppose to start with the proof. I have to start with the proof. So today I had to cover this. Okay, right, proof. Let us consider a circuit which is containing Z1 here. Z1, which is containing here, it is Z2. This is A point. Okay, here we can consider ZL. So that you can see that clearly now. Okay, this is an EMF. This is an EMF. E is the EMF, and this one here, one more impedance is present. I will take it as Z3, and I will write like this. This is one more point, that is B point. This is present like this. Okay. This is a circuit I have chosen. This circuit. E is the EMF. Z1, Z2, Z3 are the linear impedances. ZL is the load impedance. Load means very large. A large impedance. A load impedance. This is a load. Okay. This is figure number 1. I will take this one as figure number 1. I have to apply the Kirchhoff's second law. For this mesh. Before taking up the Kirchhoff's second law here, there is one mesh here, there is another mesh here. For this mesh and for this mesh. Mesh number 1, mesh number 2. I suppose to apply. Kirchhoff's second law I suppose to apply. Here, let us consider the current is flowing like this. Let us consider this is a current that is flowing. I will take it as I1. I1 is the current that is flowing like this. Up to here. Current is flowing through this one I1. Up to here. Here the current flowing is equal to I2. I2 is the current that is flowing. Along this direction, current flowing is I2. Along this direction, current flowing is I2. Okay. If it is I1 current is flowing here, I2 is flowing here, how much is the current that is flowing here? If you are adding these two, you will get this. If you are adding these two currents, you will get this. If this is I1 current, if 1 ampere current is flowing here, if 0.8 ampere current is flowing here, remaining current 0.2 ampere is flowing here. 0.2 plus 0.8 is equal to 1 ampere. If 1 ampere of current, if it is flowing here, if it is 0.8 ampere, The remaining 0.2 ampere is flowing here. Therefore, along this direction, the current, whatever it is flowing, I will write I1 minus I2. This current, along this direction, current flowing is I1 minus I2. Here, the current flowing is I2. I2. Here also, the current flowing is I2. Here also, the current flows is equal to I2. Now, let us apply Kirchhoff's second law for the mesh number 1, Kirchhoff's second law for the mesh number 2. This is mesh 2. This is mesh number 1. Mesh 1, mesh 2. For this mesh number 1, let us apply the Kirchhoff's second law. I1 into Z1. See that current is flowing through this one. I1 into Z1. This current is flowing through here. I1 minus I2 into Z3 is equal to EMF. If the current is flowing in the same direction, you take it as positive. If it is in the opposite direction, you take with a negative sign. I will consider like this. I1 into Z1. You see that I1 into Z1, because this current is flows through here. This current into this I1 into Z1 here. I1 minus I2 into Z3, I1 minus I2 multiplied by Z3 is equal to EMF, is equal to E. For this mesh, here the current is equal to I2, I2 into Z2, I2 multiplied by Z2, here I2 into ZL plus I2, of course, I2 into Z2 plus I2 into ZL, here like this. This is opposite direction. For this current, you see that this is one particular direction, clockwise direction. This is coming in the opposite direction. Therefore, minus of I1 minus I2 into Z3. Again, I will repeat this one. This current is flowing like this. I2 into Z2, I2 into ZL. But this current is flowing in the opposite direction in this mesh. Therefore, minus I1 minus I2 into Z3. Here there is no EMF. Like this, there is no EMF is present here. Therefore, it is equal to 0. It is equal to 0. That I supposed to write. Okay, let me write that. Okay. So what is that? Applying KVL. Applying KVL. First, for the mesh number 1, I will apply for the mesh number 1 for this. Let us apply I1 into Z1. Same current, same direction of the current is present here, clockwise. Same direction of current is present here also. I1 into Z1. I1 minus I2 into Z3 is equal to EMF for this mesh. But for this mesh, this is a negative current. For this mesh, it is a positive current. For this mesh, it is a negative current. Take your second PUC book, study about the Kirchhoff's second law especially. You read about Kirchhoff's second law, okay, then only you can understand this idea. Very simple idea, very simple concept. So I will start with this. I1 into Z1. I1 into Z1. I1 into Z1. Here. Plus I1 minus I2 into Z3 plus I1 minus I2 into Z3, I1 minus I2 multiplied by Z3 is equal to, how much it is the EMF here? In this mesh, EMF is equal to E. EMF is equal to E. Now, let us multiply this. I1 into Z1 plus I1 into Z3, I1 into Z3 minus I2 into Z3 is equal to E. I1 into Z1 plus I1 into Z3 minus I2 into Z3 is equal to E. Therefore, here and here, I1 common factor is available. I will take out as a common factor. I1 into Z1 plus Z3, Z1 plus Z3 minus I2 into Z3 is equal to E. I will take this one as equation number 1. Okay. Right, any doubt is there within this, you can ask. Within this. Now I have to take up for the mesh number 2, second mesh. For the mesh number 2. For the mesh 2. For the mesh number 1, this is for the mesh number 2. For the mesh number 2, if I am taking up, what I supposed to consider here? Same mesh, right, this mesh. I2 into Z2, I2 into Z2, I2 into ZL, minus of I1 minus I2 into Z3. So what is that? I2 into Z2, I2 multiplied by Z2 plus I2 into ZL, I2 into ZL minus of I1 minus I2 into Z3, I1 minus I2 into Z3 is equal to 0, because here there is no mesh, there is no EMF. In this mesh there is no EMF. Like this, there is no EMF is present here, therefore I will take it as 0. That is equal to 0. Therefore, multiply this, multiply it, then rearrange it. I2 Z2 plus I2 ZL minus I1 Z3 minus into minus plus I2 Z3 is equal to 0. Now here I2 common factor, here also I2 is available, 1, 2 and 3. I2 is available. I will take out common factor I2. Here it is Z2 plus ZL plus Z3, close the bracket. This one you send it to the other side of the equation. Minus will be coming plus, that is equal to I1 into Z3. I1 into Z3. Okay. I will take that one as equation number 2. Okay. Yes. Therefore, equation number 2. Therefore, I1 is equal to how much? Here. This I1 is equal to how much? I1 is equal to this divided by Z3. I2 Z2 plus ZL plus Z3 whole thing divided by Z3. This is I1 value. Now this I1 value I will substitute in equation number 1. Okay. Substituting the value of I1, in equation number 1. I will consider equation number 1. There I will going to substitute. Okay. Let us do the substitution in equation number 1. Where is that equation number 1? Is here. I1 I supposed to do the substitution. Okay. Now it is clear, you can see that. I'm seeing clearly, no problem. Okay. Yes or no? Answer it. Yes or no? Okay. So substituting the value of I1 in equation number 1. This is equation number 1. So I will write equation number 1 first. I1 into Z1 plus Z3. Shall I stop it? I will not take any class then. No other way. I will stop it then.